All right. So, welcome everybody to Dog Handler Academy Summit. If you are first time joining us at the summit, this is our third year bringing you educational opportunities. This really is meant to empower you, to encourage you, to help you build a better business, both financially and within the compass of what your business entails. So, I wanted to take a moment and introduce you to all of our speakers that are going to be giving you their insights, their expertise, their knowledge, and truly kind of what has made them step into the ring of Dog Handler Academy and the Summit. So I'm going to start out with Drew. He is the co founder and CEO of Goose. Driven by a profound interest in the convergence of technology and a customer experience, Drew is a repeat entrepreneur, which we love. He's got an extensive background in operations, sales, and finance. He spent most of the last decade in the pet industry. Currently, he's the CEO and founder of Goose, the pet technology company focused on innovative solutions for pet service providers. But prior to Goose, Drew co founded Yardstick, a premium boarding and daycare provider in southeastern the US. He's also an active in a number of strategic investments across the pet consumer, lighting systems, and health technology industries. So, again, a serial entrepreneur who has lots of life lessons to teach us. Drew will be presenting at our DHA Summit in September on From Guesswork to Signals, Reading the Pricing Trends Shaping Dog Daycare. Drew, can you give us a little bit more in depth of what that means and what you're going to be giving us?
Absolutely. Thanks for the kind introduction, Eve, and happy to be a part of the Dog Handler Academy Summit coming up here shortly. So, in terms of what we'll be talking about, yes, we'll be presenting on pricing and yes, a little bit on packaging. I think what we're looking to bring to the table, though, is a lot of trend information. So, at Goose, we spend quite a bit of time looking out into the ecosystems of the digital world, scraping data with the tooling out there that is available nowadays. It's quite easy. And so we use this data to see trends in the industry. A lot of those trends are oriented around what services are available, certainly, but what are the pricing, either regional or and geographically across the country. So there's some pretty informative information there, anywhere from just how various services are priced, the trends within those services, multi-dog discounts. There's a lot you kind of just see on websites, given how this industry typically merchandises. And then we'll combine that with some things we see in the industry from a packaging perspective. And some of this is just general e-commerce, price anchoring, package anchoring, creating merchandising flows, some of the things that we see resulting in a fair amount of upsell increase and movement, positive movement in average daily pet rates.
That's great. I mean, increasing revenue is one of those key pieces that we always need to focus on, and revisiting all of those numbers is definitely a good reminder of how we can work through that. Awesome.
Absolutely. Looking forward to it.
Fabulous. Well, I'm excited to hear that. Then I
Hello, everyone. My name is Kira Colon of Maven Tree. I am a independent HR and payroll consultant. I have been supporting and helping small and growing businesses for half of my 18-year HR career, and I am very, very excited to be presenting at the summit on employee policies that help protect your business. And so my session is going to cover those essential HR and payroll topics that are going to help business owners understand their compliance obligations so that they make the most informed decisions as an employer. Those topics are going to include what should be in your employee handbook, setting your workplace conduct standards and communicating those with employees. What are some common challenges surrounding attendance and leave policies and how you fairly apply those to your staff? Going over compliance requirements for hiring and managing employees, as well as touching on many of the recent federal regulations and updates that are happening that will affect all employers across the states, as well as touch on a couple of state specific items that everyone should be watching out for on various particular topics that are undergoing a lot of attention at the state levels. And so I very much look forward to talking HR and payroll topics with at the summit. And thank you so much and have a great day.
Then I have Miss Claire. She and Jacqueline will both loan officers from Live Oak Bank. If you have not met these two lovely ladies before, they do attend a lot of the pet boarding and daycare expos in the industry. They've both worked with the bank's pet facility team since 2018, helping clients secure financing, whether you're looking for acquisition, expansion, startups, renovations. And if you've been in this industry long enough, renovation is definitely a key word there. Jacqueline brings experience in underwriting and loan structuring, specializing in financing solutions for veterinarians and pet care facilities. So, together, Claire and Jacqueline both help business owners explore smart financial strategies to support growth and long term success. They're going to be presenting in Chicago at the summit on how to build a financial plan that drives profitability and long term growth. So, give us a little bit more details. What does that mean about driving profitability and long term growth? I know what profitability is, it's something I strive for.
So the growth is something we want, to help the business owners understand how to build a financial plan that drives profitability. So we're going to be talking about cash flow, long-term growth. We'll break down the numbers behind a successful operation from labor allocation, pricing strategy to everybody's fun thing, balance sheet management and operational efficiency. So owners can stop guessing and start making confident, data-driven decisions. More importantly, we'll explore how to pivot from simply being busy to becoming truly profitable by creating structure, improving visibility in the business, and focusing on the metrics that actually drive long-term value. The goal is to move beyond the chaos of the constant activity and build a business with clarity, control, and sustainability growth. We want everyone to fully understand what that looks like and what we look like, what we look for in a day-to-day as well, without actually maybe even changing services or even adding more dogs. It just kind of comes down to knowing what you're looking at and understanding what that truly is.
Fabulous. If anyone hasn't noticed a theme here, we've got Drew that's going to give us some data, how we're going to package our things better. Look at those. Claire's going to break that down next steps. Truly, the whole goal of getting into any type of business is profitability and understanding your numbers and having some data to back all of that up. So very
Absolutely.
exciting.
We're very excited to be going. So thank you for the opportunity. And again, we're here to help again as a resource. So happy to help in whatever way possible.
Well, I know I always take good notes and bring something back, so I appreciate it, Claire.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let me introduce you to Kara, president of Paragon School of Pet Grooming, a longtime professional in the pet care and grooming industry. You started your career in 2007 as a bather. That is phenomenal.
Yes.
You do not look it, by the way. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
So Kara went on to open multiple mobile grooming businesses and gain experience in veterinary, boarding, daycare, grooming, operations, and leadership. Today, she brings that hands-on industry knowledge and passion to supporting the businesses and students Paragon serves. And your speech in September at the summit is Beyond Haircuts, which I do need to go get one. Build your bath and brush business. So I know how to do baths and brushes, but you're going to teach us a little bit next step of how to build that as part of our business.
Yeah. And I think too, it could also be called beyond exit baths instead of just beyond haircuts, because so many boarding and daycare locations, they do only exit baths. They won't venture into grooming. Even whenever I was at last year's summit, Eve, a lot of people came to my suite just to get their stamps. And then we would talk about grooming and they were like, nope, don't want to talk about it. Don't want to talk about groomers. Don't want to talk about the grooming department. None of it. Just leave it like tucked in the back. We'll do exit baths. We'll spray them down, spray some cologne, make them smell a little less offensive when they go home. And that's really it. But there's so much more that can be gained from offering bath and brush services. Obviously, revenue is a big one. So we're going to go over how it can increase revenue by increasing your bath and brush services, getting away from the exit bath only strategy or the go home bath only strategy. We're going to go over what makes a good bath. I'm really excited about this one. We're going to have a little discussion at the beginning and a little debate about what is a good bath, what makes a good bath, right? Because I think some people are like, well, they smell good. That's what makes a good bath. So we're going to go over that. We're going to talk about some common myths about bath services, how proper bathing supports coat health, pet wellness, and client satisfaction, why bath and brush services are more than just an exit bath, and of course, the revenue opportunities that are hiding right there in plain sight. And then we'll touch on how bath and brush services can create growth opportunities for your team. I think that's something that people don't realize is that in the pet care industry, especially for a lot of handlers, they don't have a big career trajectory. So if you want to keep them, if they're a really good employee and you want to keep them at your place and you don't want high turnover, you have to give them a path to move forward, right? So you can start with bath and brush, and you never know, maybe one day that rock star employee that was a kennel tech that turned into maybe a groom tech and they can do bath and brush. Maybe they want to be a groomer because they know what kind of income they can make from it. And that can be a whole different revenue stream. But we won't go there. We won't talk about grooming in this one because everyone just doesn't want to talk about groomers. And one of the big myths that we're going to touch on, and if you don't mind, I'm going to end with just a quick story. But one of the myths is that clients only care that their dog smells good after they either stayed or played. And, and that's just with the exit bath part of it. But there's so much more to it. And when I was working for a multi-unit boarding daycare company, I was helping them build their internal structure with grooming specifically. And I went to one of the locations just to observe and see what we could do to help. And they were doing exit baths only. The girl was lovely that did them. She was super sweet to the dogs. The dogs were safe. She had a little room with a tub, a table, 5 kennels where fans were either over top or in front of them. And I go in and I saw 2 cute little Pomeranians. They were air drying. And I just so happened when they left, when their mom picked them up, I was coming in from the parking lot and I watched these cute 2 little dogs that I saw in the groom room not too long ago walk across the parking lot and shake. And you just see tumbleweeds of fur rolling across the parking lot. And then whenever she went to pick them up into her car, fur just everywhere. So, right, she's going to have fur in her car. She's going to have fur at home. Did the dogs smell good? Did they not smell offensive? Totally. But if that's your only standard and your only bar that you're trying to reach for your exit baths, you're so missing the mark. So we're going to go over just how you can retain client loyalty and satisfaction, the coat health piece of it, and just really how that bath service can be a nice, more than just an add-on. It can be an experience.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Love it. There we are. And I absolutely agree with you. I can't tell you how many times I see the dog and I'm like, they need an extra brush. We don't want to send them home with all that fur flying everywhere and whatnot. So,
Yep. Yeah, I'm excited. I get passionate about it just because I saw it from all the sides. I saw it as a groomer. I saw it in the boarding daycare side and the operation side. So I'm excited to bring that to your attendees.
yeah. Well, and I think one of the things that those of us that own facilities who are just doing baths and maybe not full grooms, we sometimes forget that our clients value our opinion. And if we can have conversations like, hey, your dog's coat's a little dry, or hey, we noticed this, or hey, we noticed that, that's beneficial to them.
Very beneficial to them. And think of how sticky that makes them to you. And then if you can offer them more of those services and they don't have to go elsewhere, it's a win-win.
Yeah. Nope. I just did a Shibu Inu nail trim yesterday because the client asked, he's like, I know my dog's tough, but I don't want to drug him to take him to the vet. And I said, as long as you understand that we are going to set up monthly reoccurring nail trim so I can condition your dog, and it's going to start out kind of crappy, but we're going to get him to the point where it's not such a battle and it's going to be easier to do. And he's like 100%. I just gained myself revenue for the next 12 months. So definitely a win-win there. Fabulous. Well, I'm excited. Mr. Sean Felty. He is no shy guy to our summit. He has been in attendance and speaking at it several times, so I am very happy to welcome him back. He is co-owner of Greenland Pet Resorts and founder of Next Tree Strategies. And Sean and I are going to be having a little powwow together while we are on stage. So Sean is a seasoned leader in the pet boarding and daycare industry with more than 20 years of hands-on experience, co-owner of 6 successful facilities in Pennsylvania. Sean has firsthand knowledge of the challenges of scaling an operation, managing teams, managing profitability, in 6 dog daycare locations. So, drawing from his background in healthcare, Sean developed innovative labor management strategies that transformed not only his own business, but he has shared it with the dog daycare world through Next Tree Strategies. So now he's looking to help other owners improve operations, improve labor efficiency, and build more profitable, sustainable business. So, Sean, you and I are going to talk about building a team that stays without breaking the bank. And I think that is super important. I'm going to really kind of talk about how do you find these people? How do you onboard them? How do you touch them along the way? And then I'm going to hand it over to you. So give us your 2 cents in there.
Thanks, Eve. So yeah, we're basically going to break down, what happens in the critical first 60 days of employment and how you can improve retention without overspending on payroll and breaking the bank, right? So we're going to talk about the first 60 days of employment, how an onboarding system is super important, but just as important is having systems in place to like identify issues early so that you can see if this person is a good fit or not. We're going to talk about the importance of laying out expectations when you're hiring as well. A lot of owners that I work with, they'll put an ad out to hire somebody and they don't necessarily set those expectations in that interview of what the business's need is, and they focus more on, okay, when is this person available, and what does their availability look like? And one of the best ways to kind of be efficient with labor is knowing exactly what you need and making sure that the person can fit that mold for you. We're also going to talk about managing by FTE or full-time equivalent. So you can use some strategies there and use some numbers, know how many FTEs you typically use, and answer the question for yourself, how many people do I need? That's one of the questions I hear all the time. People don't know how many people they should hire. They don't know if they should hire a full-time person or a part-time person. So we'll talk a little bit about that. And yeah, all in all, just focusing on labor and being able to operate a profitable business.
And that is the name of the game, right? So we're starting with some products, packaging, knowing our numbers, how to add onto our existing givings, and then staffing and how to make sure that we're hiring appropriately in the terms of finances. So I think that's really the key. And you're running 6, so clearly you know what you're doing.
Yeah, well, we try. We're still learning every day, but yeah, we get a lot of I don't know. I guess it's more reps, right? With 6 locations, more things happen. You have to solve more problems, and then you just learn quickly. You have to. So.
Well, super beneficial that you are taking your ups and downs and the bumps in the road and the lessons you've learned along the way and sharing them with us. So greatly appreciate it.
Hey there, my name's Dom Hodgson. I am the founder of the Dog Daycare Success Academy and the co-founder of Pet Biz Suite CRM and Enrichment University. And I'm going to be in Chicago in September to speak at the amazing Dog Handler Academy Leadership Summit. I was lucky enough to speak at this event last year. It was a big thrill. It was fantastic to see so many amazing pet care providers come together to learn, to network. And yeah, Eve puts on an incredible show. This year, I'm going to be speaking about one of my favorite topics, memberships. So I have worked with dog trainers and dog daycare owners for the last 5 or 6 years to show them how to move from a business where they have episodic income events to having a business where you have predictable, reliable, recurring revenue, so that you have a chunk of change land in your bank account at the beginning of every month before you've even filled up a water bowl, leashed up a dog, or turned on a light. Creating a membership in your dog daycare is one of the most powerful things that you can do. It enables you to give your clients the feeling that they are part of an exclusive club. So it invokes in them a feeling of belonging. Yeah, it turns it into more of a relationship with them, where they see you as a much bigger part of their lives than just a generic service provider. From a business point of view, adding a recurring revenue membership completely changes the game, because the clients, they actually like the convenience of paying a membership fee. And when you build in a bunch of benefits to the membership, they'll see it as just like, another thing that makes their life so much easier. For you, the business owner, the membership is a total game changer, because it basically enables you to plan much better into the future. When you know exactly how much money you're going to be bringing in each and every month, and you also have a system to ascend the value of the clients by moving them up through your membership tiers, well, you can see how this is going to be so much better for your business. Lots of dog daycare and pet resort owners completely screw up the membership subscription model, because they end up just giving away discounted packages, which locks in a temporary income boost, but it actually gives you a false impression of how much money your dog daycare is making, because most of your sales are coming from discounted packages. I'm not a huge fan of discounts anyway. They're great to get new clients through the door, but on an ongoing basis, they're not a great way to package up your services. It removes any kind of exclusivity. So what are the other ways that you can do this if you don't do discounted packages? Well, that's what I'm going to be talking about in my presentation that I'm doing in September. Memberships have been a total game changer for all of my clients who have implemented this, and it makes the business more stable. It actually increases the quality of the clients that you get through the door, because they feel like they're part of an exclusive membership. They generally behave better. They refer you more to their dog owning friends. There's a certain exclusivity. There's a certain pride amongst them with the fact that they are part of a members only dog daycare. And so how do we do all this? Well, there's a whole rollout system for how you launch the membership, for the services that you should test before you launch the membership. And then I have a whole membership launch plan that I'm going to run through step by step with all of the attendees at the Dog Handler Academy Leadership Summit. So if you want to come, and you should, not just to see me, but to see everybody else as well, then you should go to doghandleracademy.com/seminars. Just wanted to make sure I got the URL right there. And Eve and I and everyone else will see you in September.
If you have not heard of Shop.pet, let us introduce you to it. So I have been utilizing Shop.pet to help fund my nonprofit, and we wanted to bring Michelle Huey, founder and CEO of Shop.pet, and Melinda Stanford, owner of Bark and Bone, here to educate you a little bit on what it's all about. So Michelle is an entrepreneur and business leader who's passionate about helping small businesses grow through innovative retail solutions. She's the founder of Vim and Vigor and ShopDot. ShopDot's a platform that helps pet care and service-based businesses create new revenue streams without managing inventory, because we have small lobbies. Michelle's work has been recognized by Inc. magazine and the 2025 Purina Pet Care Innovation Prize, and she brings a strong background in business strategy, entrepreneurship, and small business growth. Melinda is a registered veterinary technician turned entrepreneur, educator, and co-owner of Bark and Bone in Indiana. After beginning her career in small animal medicine and equine, wow, that's a big word, and anesthesia. Let me start that again. After beginning her career in small animal medicine and equine anesthesia, Melinda transitioned into pet business ownership alongside her husband, Sean, growing Bark and Bone into a thriving salon, mobile grooming, and retail operation. Known for her focus on systems, leadership, customer service, and operational strategy, Melinda helps pet professionals build sustainable, profitable businesses that can create freedom for both their teams and families. Super important. She's passionate about sharing practical, real world strategies that empower business owners to grow with confidence. So we want to welcome Michelle and Melinda. They'll be presenting at our DHA Summit on pet retail as part of a panel. So, ladies, each of you, give me a little tidbit about pet retail and what part you would like to discuss in the panel.
Yeah, so if you think about these pet care professionals, as you mentioned, their opinion has so much impact in terms of the end customer and the pet parent making shopping decisions and what to buy. The problem is inventory.
Right.
None of these businesses have capacity to carry the inventory, stock the inventory, deal with pick, packing, and shipping product if they get an order. So the idea is there a better way that currently doesn't exist? And so I'll be going over ShopDot, how these businesses are able to really build turnkey storefronts and be able to pick and choose the products that they want to sell without the inventory and better meet customer demands.
Fabulous. Melinda, so you have been around the block a time or two. So talk to us about retail.
So I'm going to be taking a little bit of a different approach, which is why I'm so excited for this panel, because Michelle is going to be telling us how, if you have a limited storefront, how to add retail more as like, a drop shop shipping, versus I'm going to put some emphasis on creating a really warm and exciting storefront. We actually just expanded our retail, and about how it's going to be more than just products, but like making sure you have intention behind what you're merchandising, because there are so many options out there. It's very challenging to compete with Chewy. Customer education, what products do your customers actually want? And then the metrics behind having a successful retail storefront, because, you have to make sure you display the product, purchase a product, pay for all the POS and all this. So we're going to go over all that. I'm really excited. My husband is, I think, more excited than me about this because he has been the main driver behind the operation. So it will be really exciting to have kind of two different perspectives for people.
Absolutely.
Because we don't ship, because we specialize in fresh, raw, frozen to try and make ourselves a little bit more exclusive.
No, absolutely. And I have 3 locations, and I have one that has a 120 by 40 foot space for retail, and I have another one that has like 200 square feet. So the fact that I know what my limitations are at one and the way that I need to do that versus the other. So I'm excited. I'm going to have notes on both of these. Great. Well, we look forward to seeing you guys in September at the summit. Well, we dabbled a little bit with Sean and I talking about onboarding new employees, but let me introduce Joe Latona, owner of Walker Scout. He is a longtime leader in the pet care industry. After building a successful dog walking company in Chicago that completed more than 60,000 dog walks, holy cow. Joe launched Walker Scout, right? Like 60,000 dog walks. I'm like, you got some legs on ya. Joe launched Walker Scout to provide specialized recruiting solutions for pet care businesses across the country. Since 2023, Joe has spoken at a majority of industry conferences and events, sharing practical hiring and team building strategies within pet business owners. Through Walker Scout, he and his team have conducted thousands of interviews, thank goodness somebody does that, and helped pet care businesses hire hundreds of employees while improving operational growth and long-term success. Joe's presentation is going to be all about the triangle offense of recruiting. Joe, tell me about this. Triangle? Am I working that right?
Okay.
Triangle.
So,
Okay.
let's see, who's from Chicago? I'm from Chicago. Drew's from Chicago. Michelle is from Chicago. At least her brains are from Chicago.
I lived in Chicago for 10 years, so that counts.
There we go. So my thought is like, hey, the summit is in Chicago. What's very Chicago? It's pizza, Al Capone, or Michael Jordan, right? I think Michael Jordan would be the most appropriate out of the 3. So the thought is, in the 90s, the way the Bulls won all those championships was having a triangle offense. And of course, in my opinion, Jordan was very influential with recruiting. So my thought is like, how do we make our opportunities at our businesses so appealing it's as if Michael Jordan is asking us to join this team, right? I mean, he was able to, kind of probe and poach players from other teams to join the Bulls in the 90s. So we want to recruit like Jordan. We want to improve the reputation of our businesses on job boards. A lot of people don't even know that their businesses have a reputation on the job board. They think Google and Yelp might be the only thing that people say about their business, but staff members, both former and current, are talking about their experiences working at these places on places like Glassdoor and Indeed. I just had a call with someone today who just was like, can we turn this off? I'm like, no, I'm sorry. To my knowledge, we can't turn this off. They could say whatever they want. So we want to improve the visibility and the reputation that the businesses have on the job boards. We want to place greater emphasis on referrals with staff. We really want to see the staff members have more of a push for referrals to their colleagues, to their friends, to their neighbors, whoever it might be. And then finally, we want to establish that the business is a place to build a career. And I hear a lot from my clients that they want to hire someone with experience. They want to hire someone who has had multiple years in the industry. And this isn't a plug for DHA, but if you have a program like DHA, now we could take someone who has the right attitude and we could teach them how to be productive in the industry. So the key to this is to create a kind of like a low-cost workflow to recruit highly motivated people to join your business. We're not just going to be, pouring all of our effort and money into the job boards. And we also want to basically see a way to establish careers. So we could source our groomers, our trainers, and our managers internally. One of our most common searches at Walker Scout for our clients is to find groomers, trainers, and managers. And those are our most costly, most complex, time-intensive searches. So if you could create that community, that team from within, that's easily the way to do it. It's better for company culture, money, everything. So yeah, that's the concept of the talk.
Love it. Yeah, no, I agree. We need to figure out how to shut off those Indeed things. I didn't even know those existed until a year ago. I was like, what?
Yeah. The key is to just, hey, let's squash them like a butt. So just,
there you go.
All
good things.
Just put a lot of great news out there about your business. Yeah. But
yeah.
I'm looking forward to the talk. It should be fun.
We always learn something new. So very much excited to learn a little bit more. All right.
Well, thank you for having me. Thanks for having me today. And thanks for having me at the summit. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I like bringing together people that have a lot of good knowledge and things to share. So.
Hey guys, my name is Chad Mackin, and I am going to be presenting at the 2026 Dog Handler Academy Summit, and I'm going to be talking about bringing a dog trainer up from the ranks of your organization that already exists. So if you have a boarding facility or a daycare facility or both, and you'd like to add training to your business, but you don't want to just hire some trainer off the street that you don't know, you want to go with somebody that's already within your organization, but you don't have an established training program. Well, there's a lot of steps involved with that. There's a lot of things that need to be done. And you can start small for sure and grow, but if you start small in the wrong way, you may limit your growth, and we're going to talk about that. Dog training is a great add-on service. It does a couple things for you. Number one, it is a great on-ramp. People seek you out for training, and you work with their dog, and then they need a boarding facility or they need a daycare facility, and they're going to go where the dog is familiar, where the people are familiar with their dog, and where the trust already exists. Also, say somebody comes in for a daycare and your dog is a little iffy, you're not sure they're going to fit. You can offer training to help get that dog into group. And so it adds value there. And we have a tripod dog who comes here regularly. His name is Roy. And when Roy came here, he was so aggressive that most of our staff weren't allowed to go in the room with him. I was always cautious when I went in the room with him. But now he goes into camp with the rest of the dogs, and the staff who is here now, they don't believe me when I tell you what Roy used to be like. So you can, with good training, you can build an on-ramp to get new clients, you can add a service to existing clients, and you can help dogs that you wouldn't be able to help otherwise. But you want to do it the right way, you want to do it the smart way, and you want to do it in a way that is going to reflect your values as a company and as an organization. And we're going to talk about all that at this summit. All right, so I hope to see you there, and hope you're having a great day. Thanks a lot. Bye.
And first time attending our Dog Handler Academy Summit, we have Jess, who is the current executive director of the International Association of Canine Professionals. And if she looks familiar, she was with Blue Nine Climb and attended many a trade shows within the pet industry. So welcome, Jess, for your first time coming to the summit. We are very excited to hear you speak. Jess is a leading expert in professional pet care with extensive experience in the industry. Her current
leaving us all in a cliffhanger.
all asset industry, from grooming to managing high volume dog hotels, daycare, training facilities, you name it, across Southern Florida. Her reputation was built by working with startups during their planning phases, launching new services, driving sales, and developing robust policies and procedures to support the company's growth and development. Jess's expertise is further enhanced by her dog training experiences, making her a very well-rounded professional dedicated to elevating standards in the pet care and operational efficiency. Jess, I'm very excited about this title. Time is money. Time is, I feel like you and Sean could just like hammer this home. And so it's time is money, using time studies to increase operational efficiency and profits. Dive into that a little bit for us. What is that about?
Yeah, absolutely. Time studies is one of those tedious parts of running our businesses that is understated, underused, and undervalued. So my goal is to teach that along the way, and using examples from really like larger companies that people know, like Chick-fil-A, like UPS, and use also some experiences of how we implemented it in my own facilities. I learned the critical parts of time studies while I was in grooming school. So Kara, plug to all your groomers out there that really know time studies the best, because you need to know how long it takes you to clip nails or clean ears or do whatever, so you know how many dogs you can bring in. Same thing with our pet boarding and daycare facilities. If you don't know how much time it takes you or your staff to do each of your facility operations, including cleaning, feeding, moving dogs, etc., you don't really have the right data in order to staff it efficiently. Can you take in more dogs? Do you need to hire more? So we're going to go over not just the importance of time studies, but how to conduct time studies within your current operations and facilities, and then what to do with that data once you have it.
That is super important. And I know I, in the last 2 years, have gotten really good at working those time studies and trying to really nail down the efficiency pieces, because time is money.
And when we build in more operational efficiencies, the ripple effect is a happier staff, dogs that are more engaged with, your clients that are actually seeing a more like well-oiled machine in operations versus it being clunky and there's a lot of like bottlenecking around. So I'm pretty passionate about time studies in a very nerdy way.
Love it. Well, we all need to learn a little bit more. So very excited. We will see you in September.
Looking forward to it.
All right. Certainly not least, but we have our final introduction of the day. We'd like to introduce Alex Varney, Vice President of Operations of Pinnacle Pets Play and Stay. You are just doing it all, Alex. She's also the founder of Considerably Bold. So Alex is a pet care industry leader with extensive experience in operations, team development, and business growth. As Vice President of Operations at Pinnacle Pets Play and Stay and founder of Considerably Bold, Alex has spent the past decade leading teams through rapid growth, operational challenges, industry change, which we know we've all seen a lot of that lately, known for creating practical systems, leadership tools, and training programs. Alex helps pet care businesses strengthen their teams, improve operations, and build long-term sustainable success. So, Alex will be presenting at this summit on Game On, staff engagement that works. And I'm not going to lie, I'm excited. I know I do a lot of trivia stuff and things with my staff to keep them engaged and moving forward. So super excited to hear what you're giving us.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. I'm really excited as well. My big passion is people. I mean, I love the animals. That's why we're all in the business. But people are so important to making sure that our businesses are running smoothly. And really, ever since COVID, I guess it probably started before that, but people have just changed. It's harder to connect with our employees. It's harder to keep them satisfied. I mean, Gallup, the most recent survey that they did, only 18% of employees are satisfied with their company as a place to work. And then only 27% said that they have received any sort of recognition or praise in the last 7 days. So numbers are kind of declining for employee satisfaction rate. And we're seeing that with our turnover rates, still sometimes climbing or at least not decreasing. Staff are not learning as effectively. They're not, connecting with each other or with their leadership teams, and it's disappointing. So we've learned a lot over the years of how to engage with people, how to make them more excited to be at work, and how to teach them and create new revenue operations goals through engagement. So I'm going to share a lot about that during my time with you all. And the biggest thing for me is that employees are not just about having somebody that does the work for you. They are people that we need to help kind of create and build into leaders, because they are the next generation of us leading our facilities. They have a lot to do with how much money we're making or losing if there's a lot of mistakes or issues. So there's so many good talks already happening. I loved listening to everybody else's topics because I think this is going to play really well into it. You get the right staff, you have the right systems, and then you make sure your staff sticks around by creating opportunities for them to really engage and be a part of a good culture.
No, 100%. I actually just had a conversation with my leadership team that our goal as leaders isn't just to hire them and have them perform the duties. It's to build them up to be the best person that they can be, whether it's with us or at their next job. We are the parent, we're the teacher, and we're the leader and the coach, right? We're all of the above. So I think that is super important. And I'm so glad that you hit on that, because Richard Branson said it, we have to be everything to these people. And yeah, so I'm excited. I always like taking little nuggets and learning little things, and the more that we can do to create that right culture when we've got them in is super important. So, yay. Well, I just need to say thank you all for taking the leap, for putting yourselves out there, sharing your knowledge. It is so beneficial, not just to the people that are going to be sitting there, but truly to the industry as a whole, that you all are taking the time to share what you've learned, the mistakes you've made, the aha moments that you've had, and bringing it full circle and sharing it with all of the Dog Handler Academy people. We greatly appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you all in September.